Alrighty, good evening, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, I'd like to take a moment of somber reflection and gratitude as we gather with family and friends tomorrow to enjoy the freedoms that we are so fortunate to have. We must remember the true cost of that liberty. Behind every flag that waves and every headstone in our hallowed grounds is a human story, a life cut short, a family changed forever, and a sacrifice that cannot be repaid with words alone. To honor those who never made it home, Congress established a national moment of remembrance. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, we ask that you take a pause right now for a moment of silence. Let us use this time to reflect on their valor, to hold their loved ones in our hearts, and to ensure that their ultimate sacrifice is never ever forgotten. Moment of silence starts now. Thank you very much. May God bless our fallen heroes, and may God bless the United States of America. So what we are going to be talking about today is what to do after an EMP strike. So how vulnerable is our grid? According to a quick Google search, our grid faces a moderate to high vulnerability due to an escalating threat landscape of sophisticated cyber attacks, physical attacks on substations, and aging infrastructure. What are the chances of an EMP strike? Some military experts and congressional reports have described an EMP as a very real existential threat. When it happens, your first thought will be, well, it's just a blackout and it'll be restored soon. Or, did I forget to pay my electric bill? We're going to be discussing what steps you need to take immediately after an EMP strike. We'll see you in a minute. Right. Thank you for joining us, everybody. So let's discuss this. What should you do when you know for certain that it is indeed an EMP rather than just a blackout? First, let me say, before this happens, you need to put emergency comms in a Faraday cage, and that way you'll have some communication with others. The first thing you should do is check for damages. The initial shock wave can cause structural damage or electrical burns. So ensure your household is safe before doing anything else. Check around for sparks or fires caused by the power surges and unplug all appliances. Next is water. Most people are on city water. Water plants are operated by electricity, as everybody knows. You'll have about 30 minutes, give or take, before it completely stops flowing. Fill your bathtubs in as many containers as you can, and you can purify it later. Set buckets outside to catch the rain. Next is conserve your food. The food you have in your refrigerator needs to be used first, obviously. Then the freezer. If you have a propane burner and a canner, just start canning what is thawing from the freezer. If you can't process it fast enough, whatever meat is thawed, put a good coating of salt on it. Let it sit in a cool, dry place for several days. This is salt curing. You'll probably want to look that up. I don't know exactly a lot about it, but salt curing is a good way to preserve meat. Let's see. Okay, don't touch your shelf-stable food until absolutely necessary. Once you have your food and water secure, then you can move on to other tasks or assign other tasks to other household members while you focus on the food. Other tasks are tuning into emergency broadcast, gather as much information as possible. Next is establish security. Band together with neighbors to set up neighborhood watch and communication. And then you need to figure out sanitation and hygiene. Do we have anybody in chat?
We do. Good evening, everyone. We've got Chuck and Ronnie with us tonight.
Okay.
And we are, a happy Memorial Day because, we understand the sacrifices that were made. Gives us the freedoms we have today.
So in the chat, just chime in. Tell us what you think should be done. That once you know for certain that it is an EMP strike. But
so a couple of things too, with that, you want to, well, hold on, let's back up and talk about a couple things.
Okay.
So an EMP, whether it be man-made or a natural event, which is a solar flare, is very likely. I mean, it's there. The potential is there. The biggest thing is we don't know what is actually protected for an EMP because there's no way to test this. The government has done some testing on stuff like that, but the best we can do is shield what we can.
As best you can.
Yeah, I mean, will your LED flashlight survive? Will your batteries survive?
What about the microwave? We were just talking about this the other day. What about the microwave?
So the microwave is a natural Faraday cage. So if you have an old one, or a broken one, don't throw it away. If you've got a place to store it, of course, clean it up first. And you can actually use that as an EMP Faraday cage. Excuse me. What you'll have to do is take some aluminum HVAC tape and put that around the door. Open the door, put it around the face of the microwave itself, so when the door closes, it mashes against that tape. You'll need to do that, and then remove the glass tray inside and put a piece of cardboard or wood down that would isolate what you put in there to protect from the housing of the microwave. There's other ways to make one. And let me get this over here where I can see it and read it a little bit better. A Faraday cage can be built using conductive materials like aluminum foil or metal containers insulated from the contents to block electromagnetic fields and protect electronics. Materials needed: aluminum foil, copper mesh, or a metal container such as a trash can. The galvanized trash can actually works very well. And you can put a lot of stuff in there. An insulating layer. You'll need a plastic wrap, cardboard, or cloth to prevent direct contact between the electronics that are inside the trash can or your container with the inside wall of that container. And then you'll need a conductive tape or bolts to close the seams and ensure that there's no gaps. You can do a copper wire connected to an earth ground to enhance the protection. So it's not that hard. Look it up online. There's some very cool portable type deals you can get, which is a company I have bought a few things from. It's called Silent, SLNT. And I actually have that up there if you would like to put that in the
What?
SLNT. So there's a couple of other companies out there that do this, but SLNT actually has some very cool bags. They've got
SLNT.com?
yes, SLNT. So they have some very cool bags, backpacks, waterproof bags, enough to where you can put your tablet, your phone, computer, radio, things like that. One thing that I am going to be doing, on my own is for my own protection, just in case, is buying one that you can slide your phone in. If you've got any reason that you would like to protect your phone from one of these, a simple bag that they make right here, it's a sleeve. And
let me find it. Hold on. I'm getting it on the screen.
let's see here. Sorry, I am reading this phone sleeve. They average from $80 to $90. They have went up quite a bit, so it tells you how many people are actually looking for this. Top right is the X for that.
I know. I'm trying to find.
Yeah.
Okay, where are you at?
You need to exit out of that sales thing or hit
I
no.
did.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm forgetting there's the delay. And just the main screen will.
Okay, and we're looking for what? Phone?
It'll pop up right there every day. But yeah, there's the phone sleeves, and they have fanny packs and things like that. So you don't need elaborate. You should already have a bag. This is just something that you could slide your electronics in, a GPS, a phone, your tablet, laptop, things like that you like to protect if you're out on the road. You could even slide in your two-way radio if you want to keep in contact with everyone. So and that's another thing, saying that you want to keep in contact with people. So, protecting a two-way radio, I feel is important. But you do have to understand that there is going to be limits to who you can contact. If it is an absolute EMP situation, then more than likely you and maybe 2 or 3 others
They're sold out of a lot of stuff.
are going to be the only ones with a protected radio. So you're not going to have repeaters. You're not going to have, linking systems. You're not going to have, a lot of that stuff. So your range and will be limited on what you can come up with on your own with an antenna. I understand shortwave radios and ham and, a lot of the other things that you can reach out there pretty good ways. But just don't think that you're going to be grabbing your radio and, chatting up the neighborhood, because unless they have protected their equipment like you, there's going to be nobody to talk to.
Right. Yeah,
But-
and I think that that's probably going to be the case.
And this stuff over the past, I would say 3 years, has went up a lot. It was not that expensive when I was buying some of the things I have. So again, things just get expensive. They also have some fabric that you can buy. It's Faraday fabric. It's for lack of better terms. You can actually take that and line your own Pelican style box to protect this equipment, your optics from your gun, whatever you would like to protect. Because again, like we said, no one knows the extent of an EMP is going to wipe out your red dots, your flashlights. There's no telling. I always err on the caution side just in case. Well, it's got to be a big deal, and people are thinking about this. Not only us, not only the tinfoil hat guys. Executive Order 13865 was signed March 26th of 2019. Executive Order directs federal agencies to enhance national resilience against electromagnetic pulses, EMP.
I'm sorry, what number was that again?
Executive Order 13865.
Go on.
And geomagnetical disturbances, the GMD, to protect critical infrastructure and national security. So it's not only us that are thinking about these things. It is, in executive order signed in for our government to protect these infrastructures. So you can look that up on your own. It's a lot to read here, and I'm not going to get into all of that. But the government has done something, and if the government is doing something, that means you probably need to do something too. That's just my opinion. Now, for an EMP, there were talks a while back about another country could detonate a device over U.S. soil from a satellite. Now, yes, that is plausible. That could happen. That would be the man-made lights go out, dark ages. With that being said, hold on, I have multiple tabs open here. With that being said, the critical storage of electrical transformers has emerged, and with wait times for replacement items, to replace the damaged items, from 50 to 127 weeks for repairs. Well, there's 52.
Oh, are you talking about the grid?
Yes.
I was just looking that up.
If an EMP hits, there's going to be certain infrastructures that go back online faster.
It depends on the scale of the event, extent of the damage, and the preparedness of the infrastructure.
So,
it could even be a small scale EMP, for example, from low altitude detonation or moderate solar storm might damage electronics in a limited area. In such cases, recovery could take days to weeks if only local equipment is affected. And on a large scale, high altitude or extreme geomagnetic disturbance can destroy or severely damage the electrical grid across the entire continent. It doesn't say how long. Well, here we go. That could take 6 to 12 months.
Well, so here...
Or even longer. Who knows, really?
Well, here's another thing. The U.S. only produces 20% of the necessary equipment. So I know that there is a stockpile of equipment sitting around, but I do know that they are saving some of those items for critical infrastructure, working around emergency services, hospitals, and other facilities like that. Joe Smith out in the middle of nowhere is probably not high on the priority list of getting their transformer put back together so you can get your power back on and you can microwave your hot pockets.
Yeah.
So it's just something you need to consider, that you are probably very low on the list unless you live next to one of those and you happen to be on that critical infrastructure grid.
Yeah, right here, this is a scary statement. It says estimated recovery times: minor damage days to weeks, moderate would be weeks to months, severe nationwide damage months to years, with some experts suggesting 20 to 30 years if manufacturing capacity is overwhelmed. That's scary.
Well, it is, like right here where they said, replacements ballooning from 50 to 127 weeks. The shortage is driven by domestic production limitations and increased global demand, leaving the grid unprepared for rapid recovery from disaster or attacks. The Build America, Buy America provision has further complicated the situation, as they require substantial domestic contents for federally funded infrastructure projects, despite the U.S. only producing 20% of the necessary equipment. You know,
Yeah.
so
The worst case scenario, a total grid collapse could leave 2/3 of the U.S. population at risk of death within a year
okay,
due to cascading infrastructure failures.
we've got a comment in the chat here. I want to go and find what I'm looking for.
Which contents in a gun safe be EMP protected?
So the gun safe, I'm not sure about, because it is not designed for that. It is designed for security and fire. That there's a good chance that it would protect somewhat. Another thing to do
Well,
is,
could you do it the same way like with the microwave?
yeah, well, yes,
With
you
the
could
tape?
make it a Faraday.
Yeah.
You would take this fabric and put on the inside of your gun safe. I'm looking up the generator right now. So let's see here. Well, Amazon sells one, but you could build a larger Faraday box for a generator, which is a wood. More or less, you're building a wood frame doghouse and lining it with this fabric. You can use chicken wire on the inside that would dissipate the electromagnetic pulse. And that's if you're pretty crafty. There's a and my Google Foo is not working very well. Let's see here. How to build a Faraday cage at home. You've got simple versus elaborate that you can look up and find. Hold on. The best way to do this. Hold on. I know how. Sorry. I had something else pulled up, but
You ready, Dave?
well, so Faraday fabric, you can look it up. There's some FaradayDefense.com is the first one that pops up. And it will go through and, again, some of this stuff is not cheap. Let's see here. Laptop bag, $130. They have protections, surge protectors for homes.
I'm going to put it on the screen.
They've got one that's supposed to shield your vehicle, and I've heard of that before. It's DEFCON vehicle. But I'm actually looking for the fabric. I may have went to the wrong place here.
Well, let's see. They don't have
Faraday Cyber, Cyber fabric here. Here's a roll. It's $25.
Are you looking at the same website?
Yes.
Okay, where'd you find the fabric?
It's textiles. So it is 1 foot wide by 59 inches long. It's $24 that you can take and put this on the inside of a box, a bag, or make your own. If you wanted to get a pelican case and kind of line your own on here, and they have a couple different ones, EMF and RF shielding.
Okay, I see.
Yep.
It looks like rolls of aluminum foil.
Yes. That place is called FaradayDefense.com. So you can build a box, line it with this material, set your generator inside it, and it would be
Which one would you use
hopefully
that with?
protected.
'Cause
So
I see there's six different ones.
Well, here's the thing. It'll give you instructions on how to do this. If I'm trying to protect my generator from an emergency type situation, this is probably not a time to go cheap.
Yeah.
Amazon sells this stuff, but I would like to, and I don't know if it's the same product. I haven't looked at Amazon, but you want to make sure you're going for a reputable company, just in case. This right here, I would go with the EMF and RF shielding, 100% copper plated. That would be my opinion. But I need to look at these. This is non-woven.
Which one are you looking at?
In the textiles.
Well, that's where I went, but
No, you need to go to textiles and just click on textiles.
just click on textiles.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Durr. Okay, which one are you looking at?
Let's see here.
Wow, you can make curtains.
Yeah, they make curtains too. So, but I mean, so they've got the tape there also that you can tape up the joints. I'm looking at YouTube, waiting for it to catch up where you are. But yeah, look at this stuff and see what suits your needs. This one right
They
here.
have a lot of tape.
Yeah, this right here is $50 for one rolls, 39 inches wide by 1 foot.
Which one?
I'm sorry. 39 by 1 foot.
Which
So
one?
the Cyber CX100. You have to go back to page 1.
Oh.
So
Well, I mean,
Anyway.
yeah, y'all can look it up.
anyway, that's what I would do if I'm trying to protect my generator or my gun safe. You can take this fabric and line the inside of your gun safe, or make, like I said, a dog house. Look up, since you're putting it on the YouTube, look up Faraday box for generator. That way it'll be up on the picture, on the video. So that's what I would look at, but I wouldn't assume that the gun safe would be a natural Faraday cage, but I say it would be a great host for one. So will it work the way it sits right now?
Okay, they have some on Amazon. Let me get that pulled up.
They do. I was just going to images and just kind of show a picture of what they're talking
Well,
about.
I'm using it for pricing as well.
So I like this to where you can make your own, where you can get your Pelican box or get your whatever container you want, and then you can do your own protection.
So these are not, from what I can tell, they're not super big. But military grade Faraday bag. Oh, that's for a computer. wait, computer tower and large large generator. Let's see how big it is. Okay.
Well, it looks like you can put your EcoFlow or Jackeries and solar
Well,
panels.
its dimensions are 30 inches long by 24 inches wide, 24 inches wide and 20 inches in height.
I'm trying to move my mouse and scroll on yours on the YouTube.
I mean, does that sound like a big enough box for a generator?
Yeah, if you're doing a generator, you're going to be looking at 2 foot by 3 foot by 3 foot, type deal. I would say 3 by 3 by 3. If you have a large size generator, that would probably do a smaller Honda inverter style generator. So
and it's $222, so I guess that's not terrible in a price. I'm not, but yeah, I mean, I would just search around. I don't know. I'm starting to feel like that Amazon is kind of becoming Walmart-ish.
Yeah, they are.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, they are. Well, Walmart's a broker. I mean, they sell everything in the world. I bought my Everly Stop backpack from Walmart because I didn't think someone says, check Walmart. No, they don't sell anything like that. And I said, they do online. Excuse me. So, for EMP protection, you can go as big and expensive as you want, or you can go and build your own and try and cheap out. There's plenty of plans online that you can go and figure that out. It just depends upon what your needs are. That's what it really boils down to. It's like anything else. It's like guns or flashlights. You can buy a cheap one or you can buy an expensive one. This is the same boat here. And then you got to realize, what do you want to protect? You're going to be limited on space. Although I've heard people doing entire rooms with chicken wire and doing all that to disrupt the signal coming into your home. There's other ways that it can be done.
I heard something a while back about, for everybody that's old enough to remember lead-based paint, and why they stopped using it. They stopped, I'm assuming that everybody was told they stopped using it because I guess it was kind of toxic for kids. And yeah, too much lead, yeah, it is toxic. But what they didn't tell you is that it blocked frequencies.
Right.
Like for instance, if all of our rooms at our house were painted with lead-based paint, of course, this is back in the day. They probably don't use that kind of technology anymore, like listening devices or whatever. I don't know.
No.
Am I making sense?
No, because
I'm not.
No, not that. We all knowingly and willingly carry a listening device with us now.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
but that was just something I heard a while back. I thought it was interesting.
Well, the lead paint was detrimental to the systems anyway. With discarding that and rinsing stuff off it was not an effective way. It costed a lot of money, and there's other reasons too. So, but yeah, if you wanted to do an entire room, sure. You like I said, you can go as big as you want. You just need to figure out what you want to protect. Of course, everyone says the easy answer is everything. But you also have to understand that you don't have power.
Right.
So therefore you need to make sure that everything that does make power is protected. And then go from there. And then with that, how much of your electronics are you going to need? Me personally, I think I would be looking at my, Jackeries or EcoFlows and solar panels, my rechargeable batteries, stuff like that is what I would be, looking for. And here again, just talk about firearms. If the red dots go out, if they're not protected, which I hear that aim points and EOTechs are shielded because those are military issue items. But some of the other cheaper ones, your 6-hour Romeo optics, maybe the Holosuns and some of those are probably not protected. So therefore, you might want to make sure you have iron sights on your guns, or you would do something like a Trigicon or a Vortex scope or something like that has a reticle already in it and it is not requiring batteries. So I mainly have aim points and EOTechs. I do have some Holosuns, but I've kind of strived on trying to get the bomb-proof, really tough stuff, just in case, and a lot of that just happens to be military issue. So, but check that out. There's no way to tell what's going to be affected. A lot of these batteries nowadays has circuits in them. So you just don't know what it's going to affect. But I think.
Well, I think that one thing that people should do is before anything drastic happens. We've been talking about everything else, but I think another thing that is important is to start seed saving.
Well, if they're talking about 52 to 120 weeks, yeah, it's going to be just about a survival of the fittest.
My thing is
later on,
they can be all experty all they want, but nobody really knows.
Well, they know. We don't know, because, like we said, nothing like this has ever happened before.
Well, nothing man-made, but we do have the Carrington event.
Well, the Carrington event, when it took place, there was not a lot of electronics.
No, there wasn't, but it was strong enough to light the light poles on fire. And
it melted the wires off the poles.
The wires, they did have telephones at that time, and all of those stopped working. So,
yeah, but everything wasn't run off of electronics the way it is now. Now we've got Wi-Fi washer and dryers and dishwashers and refrigerators that tell you when you're out of milk.
Yeah, I don't like all that stuff.
Well, there are advantages to technology. I do get that. I mean, look what we're doing. We're broadcasting a show on YouTube telling you how to be prepared in case all this stuff goes away.
Yeah, I agree with the advantages, but I feel like there's more disadvantages to it than anything else.
Yeah. Just do your research on this. We're just going to try and bring up a little bit of awareness of, what we think is important. We'll send you some resources of how to do this stuff.
Thank you, Ron.
Appreciate that, Ronnie.
I'm going to give you a heart. There's a heart.
But I mean, that's what it is. You do have to take care of yourself. Because if a situation like this comes,
the reason why I say start seed saving is because once you run out of your stockpile, then what are you going to do? Because a major EMP is going to wipe out. Now I don't know how true it is, but I'm going to say about 80 to 90% of the population, because the majority of people only have 3 days worth of food in their house right now. So.
Well, there's not going to be equipment to process any more or plant more. So.
Well, you'd have to do it all by hand, but.
Well, I'm talking about large crops. It's not like you're going to go to the farmer's market and have a plentiful thing.
Yeah, I mean they just walk up to it and take it anyway.
Right. So there's other reasons that I think that a Faraday bag for your phone or tablet, if you carry one with you every day for work, would be good to have. For any reason that you would need to, I'll just say, go dark, to go silent. You can't do that by just turning your phone off.
No.
You can't pull the batteries out of these phones nowadays.
No, you can't.
If there's any reason that you need to go silent, then one of these bags would really come in handy for you. Now, what would you need to do that for? Make up your own. That's up to you to figure that out in your head, why you would not want to have a tracking device on you, or a listening device. So I hear people like, well, I just wouldn't carry it with me. If it's an EMP and everything is gone and done, sure, toss it. But I was talking to Lisa about it. I kind of would still like to save my phone. And at least for now, maybe a comfort thing.
Well, yeah,
I could go through and.
But see, even with no power, I mean, we got the little battery banks and all of that kind of stuff, but they're eventually going to run out too.
They will, but at least for the right in an initial, I can scroll through and look at some pictures before they're totally lost, because we don't get pictures developed anymore. They all sit on our phones or a flash drive or what have you. So, so just something to think about, and I think it's a good preventative type measure that everyone needs to do. Now, can you afford to drop all of your optics and all your radios and everything else in a Faraday cage and then never touch them? Because there they are. You got to take them out eventually, and make sure the batteries are still good. You rotate the batteries in and out.
Yeah, we would be doing that very thing, and then that's when the EMP would hit.
Oh, 100%. I'd have all the batteries sitting out charging, and then bloop. Wow, the case is sitting there open. I've got everything out
right now.
It is just not meant to be. Just figure out what you want to protect. I mean, really, figure out what you want to protect, and how much of it. How many batteries you put in there. I recently said something about the Optima batteries from Duracell not lasting nowhere near their expiration date. I had to throw away quite a few of them. So, and they were in a sealed container. So it's just something to think about, that you got to be careful what you're putting in there. Because if you load it up and then you forget about it, you can damage those goods just as bad as or worse than if you didn't have them in there at all. I've lost quite a few batteries to and flashlights.
Yeah.
But it's an important thing, and we just think that it's worth a look. So.
Well, it's all worth it just to at least try.
looking at the comments real quick.
So, I don't know you by this name here, KQ4GLQ. Who? What's your first name?
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think that the gun safe is a great idea, and I do know that if you want to test something, that you could.
Oh, David and Kelly. Hey.
I thought that sounded familiar. What's up, David Kelly?
I miss y'all too.
So, you can drop
Tell
your
Kelly
phone.
I said hello.
You can put your phone in there and try and call the phone. That's not a absolute test, but it's a pretty good test to know that it doesn't get a signal. But is it going to block all of the electromagnetic pulses going through? I don't think so. But that's where that fabric would come in handy. As in these Faraday bags, you can go as big and expensive as you want. They've actually gotten a lot more expensive than it was the last time. Me personally, I see that they've got the dry bags, and the 10-liter bag is a good size, but it's waterproof too. To where you can take and drop a radio.
Excuse me.
A radio or a phone or whatever else in there. You need this?
I'm fine.
Okay. But you also are getting the waterproof protection with it also. It's a roll top bag, so RF welded construction.
Is that on the
Solid, SLNT.
Wait a minute. I'm
That-
trying to find it.
that
You're
other
looking
one-
that up and I'm like, wait a minute.
Well, that other one had bags also. Let's see here. That one is SLNT, and the other is Faraday Defense.
Well, what bag were you looking at?
This one is just their dry bag.
Hold on, because I'm pulling it up on the screen.
And that Faraday Defense, I just found it. They actually have an EMP vehicle cover for the low price of $8,000.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. So if you would like to cover your car, they got you covered.
Only 8,000. Let's
Only-
buy two of them, Dave.
8,000, and we got 3 cars. Okay, cool.
Yeah, this one, the silent.com, they have sleeves, backpacks, crossbody, bags. Is that the one you were looking at as the bag?
Yep. And they're comparable in price. So, not for YouTube, but Lisa, if you see right here, there's that one. It looks like the same construction from both companies.
Okay. And then it looks like Faraday is...
SLNT, a 10-liter dry bag is $99.95, and from Faraday Defense, their 10-liter waterproof bag is $105.
$105. Yeah, so...
So they're comparable in prices.
I mean, don't count Amazon completely out, but...
Putting on my wish list. Yeah, there you go. We drive big trucks. It may need 2 covers. That is
maybe for Christmas in 2030.
So see right there.
Yeah. No. $1,000. Come on.
Oh, wait a minute. No, SUV 9,990. There we go.
Nope. where are we going to drive to anyway?
So it's a total bag that you would actually drive your car onto the bottom of the bag, and then it closes around the top. So it's completely enclosed all the way around. Oh, snap. Well, I didn't want back on the pole. Don't judge me. That's expensive to cover my truck. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Sorry for the visual, Ronnie. That's no, but
yeah, it's bad.
yeah, I think the vehicle would just sit there. It is dead. It is done, gone,
Yeah.
not happening. Besides, like Lisa said, where are you going to go?
Yeah, well,
You're not going to the store. So,
no. I mean, I guess for temporarily you could go out and scavenge, but
yeah.
you know, like they did in the beginning of The Walking Dead, when they had still vehicles running.
Oh, and it's designed for indoor use only. I don't know anyone that has use of their garage.
Mm-mm.
We all store things in there. It's not for cars, it's for stuff.
It's for stuff.
Anyway, that's the two companies I've just been able to find, and I have done business with SLNT. Matter of fact, we just got these little debit card sleeves that protects your cards from RFID reading. And you can just slide those, your card in there, and then you slide it in your wallet, and it keeps anyone from being able to do a tap to steal your stuff. Yeah, the EMP protectors for the vehicles. Yeah, they make those too. Like I said, it's a bolt-on piece. I don't know if they're going to work or not. Like we said, a lot of this stuff is, in my mind, is not tested, but you just don't know. Either way, but yeah, they do make those. But I had something they wanted to. Sorry, I was getting a message. But with these right here, I'm sorry. It keeps you from getting, your debit card's taking information off of it with the sleeves. But, so here's another thing too. Your key fobs. If you have a vehicle that is keyless start,
Yeah.
that you have your fob that people walk around your house and can steal that, clone that signal, and that's how they're able to steal your vehicle without ever entering your home. They're telling you that you ought to drop that key fob in a Faraday bag when you're at home. Now, it depends upon where you live. Do you need that? Maybe in hotel rooms,
Yeah, or an apartment complex or something like that, because now they're cloning your key fob.
Yes.
It's getting ridiculous, really.
Yeah, look that up about people cloning the fobs to steal your vehicle. So it is a thing. As much as we want to say that it'll never happen to me, well,
No.
you just never know.
Never say never.
So. But have you got anything else?
No, I do not, actually.
Okay. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up. Well, like we said, we're not experts on this stuff. It's something we feel that needs to be brought up to everyone.
Well, we look up things, we learn about things, and we just want to share it.
Yeah. No, 100%. Well, it's also something that, oh man, I didn't think about that. Mm-hmm. We talked about Faraday cages like 2 years ago or a year ago or whatever else. Sometimes it's good to have a reminder as it comes back and, damn, I do need to build that. Mm-hmm. Or I do need to buy that bag. or I bought a bag and I need a bigger one. So, and again, these prices are going up a lot, so you might want to get them before they get too expensive. So,
Yeah.
but
And with the the oil being the way it is, price of gas going up, that means everything is going to go up.
okay, you did mention that. So they're talking about.
Did I say something?
Yes, yeah, you did. They're talking about some motor oil shortages.
Yeah.
You may want to do your own research on that, and I will tell you that even if you don't believe the shortage is real or it's going to take place,
You went to Costco the other day and picked up a case, and what did they tell you?
they've got a pallet of synthetic motor oil sitting there, and that is the last one they're getting, and nothing is coming in on their inventory at all.
That they know of. They don't know when.
Right. So
Yeah, it's real.
motor oil doesn't expire. You know, and they're already talking about if they don't have a certain weight for your vehicle, they'll just mix a couple of different weights to put in your vehicle. So that means they may just be putting anything they can in there.
Yeah, Chad says, I just joined in, but
Yep.
due to the fertilizer shortage, etc., I've heard we might have food issues within 6 months. Yes, that's true. I've been seeing a lot of videos about that.
Yeah, because believe it or not, we get most of our fertilizer from other countries.
Yeah, so...
Wait a minute,
and
we get
Chad,
everything from other countries.
you
We
are
don't do anything ourselves.
100% correct. Stock up when you can.
So,
Probably, I would say the sooner the better. It's not necessarily a panic thing,
it's not, but I mean, I would kick myself in the butt for knowing I could have done something and I didn't.
Yeah.
Another thing too, even like I was saying, even if the situation is not real, the media,
Well, there's always a potential for it to be real. Even if it is, something that somebody made up online or whatever.
the media and the public will make it real. All they have
Well,
to say
yeah.
is all they have to say is gas shortage. Then you have
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
You have people
True.
filling 5-gallon buckets full of gasoline at the
Do
store.
you remember that video where this poor lady, bless her heart, she was filling up a plastic shopping bag with gas?
It don't work that way. So,
Lady, come on.
so think about that. As much as I don't want to watch the news, it's going to be good to keep up with these things because that was a leaked letter from corporate people from AutoZone about oil shortages and what they're going to have to do to prepare for this.
And that's especially going to be hard on people who do traveling like yourself. You travel for work sometimes. I mean, by the time you went there, and then when you got back, you needed another oil change.
Oh yeah. Well, and also too, so everyone says, "Well, just change your own oil." Well, there's some people that can't do that.
Well,
I mean,
even if you could, if there's a shortage of motor oil, you still can't do it.
well, I mean, yes, exactly. But I mean, I could say I'll buy extra motor oil so I can change my own oil. But if someone is not able to change their own oil, it'd be a little difficult. So look it up yourself and do some research on that. It is a thing.
Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, it is.
So
there's also going to be a lot of food products that are going to be in short supply. So, yeah.
yeah. So pay attention to the news. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to.
Be careful who you listen to.
Yeah.
For God's sake, don't watch CNN.
Yeah. So, I think that's going to bring us to a close. I want to thank everyone that was with us tonight. Chad, appreciate the heads up on the food shortage. I have heard that too, and with the fertilizer, the farmers are also saying that they're having to pick and choose what crops they're processing because they don't have enough diesel to process all of the crops that they have, and they will not be able to plant next year because they don't have what it takes to cultivate the ground. So look that up. I mean, in an instant, we could all of a sudden be in a shortage of something, and that was what I was hearing was wheat and grain.
Oh yeah. A lot of different canned goods as well. So, but that's a whole nother show.
Right. So, thank you everyone for being with us tonight. And
Yes, we appreciate you so much. Thank you to the people who chimed in the chat. We really appreciate your support. Everybody take time tomorrow to say a prayer from Chad. Everybody take time tomorrow to say a prayer and a moment to reflect on all the veterans who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. Semper Fi, Marines, and hope everyone has a safe week. Amen, Chad. Amen.
100%. And remember what Memorial Day is for. Exactly that. You know, remember what Memorial Day is for. You know, yes, you can celebrate by, having a good time, but
The
just remember.
celebration part is celebrating your freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
But also remember why you're celebrating.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. We really appreciate your support for our channel. And we have a good time doing this.
Glad to have you with us, Keith. Glad you found us, too.
Oh, yes. Thank you for joining us.
So,
all right. Well, with all that being said, don't forget to invest in precious metals, brass, and lead. Good night, everybody.
just remember, just do something.
Just do something. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.